RV life isn't a vacation. And I think there's a big misconception of living in an RV being this big long vacation that you can just take for years on end. And it's just simply not true. We have a bunch of projects to do today, or at least a couple, because we're actually going to be taking some time away from the RV. We're going to be vacationing away from the RV next week. And well, to be honest with you, I'd really like to go into this mini vacation period knowing that when I get back to the RV, these projects are done. So as we jump into these projects and we talk about our perception of RV life versus maybe the internet's perception or what social media might make RV life out to be sometimes, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We are trying to grow this channel because we're gonna bring you guys along on the rest of our journeys. With that being said, I think it's time to go ahead and jump into some of our projects for the day.
Time to get going. Hugh's got our stuff.
All right, so I think the easiest plan of action is gonna be to start this water heater project, because it is like a repetitive multi-step process until it gets going, and then you just leave it alone for like 2 or 3 hours. So I'm gonna get it going, and once it's going, then we're gonna go ahead and jump into another project. But I think now is a good time to, I learned the first time doing this that you always turn off your water pressure and drain it, because if not, it will blow up on you. And I'll put a clip in here where the last time I did this, it blew out on me. But I think it's time to start talking about the subject of the video and how this lifestyle isn't a full-time vacation. Gord, I think you can agree that when we got on the road, there was a little bit of a misconception of things that we saw online, that this lifestyle was like a vacation.
I mean, it depends. It can be feeling like a vacation, but then you still got work to do.
Then reality hits and you realize that it's not. And to be honest with you, I think everybody that gets into this lifestyle goes through what we like to call the honeymoon phase.
Oh, for sure.
It's like you're first getting on the road, you know, whatever your plans are, you're going and you're doing a ton of stuff. Everywhere you go, you're just finding all these things to do. And then the burnout phase happens.
And it adds up. It gets financially expensive. A lot of people have asked us how much stuff we do while we're on the road, like what places we're going to go see. And honestly, we go and do a lot, especially if we're in a new place, but it starts to add up. You know, if you're constantly going and doing, and it will add up. Ooh.
Look at all that sediment in there. Like,
yeah.
So this is a tankless, well, this is a, it's not considered it's endless hot water, I guess, is the best way to word that. Because there is actually a little mini tank here, but it has the little mini tank, I think, so that it can keep a constant, so that when you turn it on, you're not waiting so long for it to heat up. It'll send you hot water from this little like 2 liter, I think it's like 1.7 liter mini tank, so that you kind of get the instant hot water. So much dust in here from Alaska.
Oh,
it's
probably.
so funny.
But
that's all right. So then this, so we go in here, and this is gonna close like that. Water heater is cleaning.
can hear it.
Can probably hear it humming here. It's doing its thing. It'll do its thing for a few hours. So we got to do our next project. While that's doing that, I'm going to do this. Now, I'm a little unfamiliar with this brand of vent shades. I've always used, I think vent shade brand is the kind that I always used before.
Which these are a little bit more low profile, right?
These are a little bit more low profile. I think they're a little sleeker, okay. and they attach differently than what I'm used to as well. So the ones I'm used to, if I remember correctly, kind of would attach to like the frame of the truck itself, or like the door of the truck
I feel like
itself.
you would just kind of peel and stick.
Yeah, they were like a peel and stick, and they were there. And now they might, the new ones might, I don't know. I'm speaking from my old trucks and ways that I used to do it. But if you're interested in getting some of these WeatherTech vent shades, wind deflectors, I'm not sure what they call them exactly. I call them vent shades. There'll be a link in the description. You can start with the rear driver's side. Why? I don't know why the rear driver's side is so important, but that's what it says. Maybe if you start with the passenger side, it'll just all go to crap. I don't know. If you're hanging out in your living room, I will also just put a QR code right there on the screen. You can scan it and it'll take you right to these things. If you have a truck and you want to get you a pair of these bad boys, you can. So this will go, this is right. This will go like that and it'll tuck up in there. They're really low profile. The ones I'm used to would sit like, they would stick to the outside like that, and you'd have like a good little bit. So these will actually tuck up in there. RV life, I think, is very similar to just living in a house. I think that you can make it as expensive as you want.
Got it.
Or as cheap as you want. I do think that that might be incorrect. I am not sure.
The window thing, not that RV life can be. Here, I'll finish because I think I know where he's going with this. But RV life can be as expensive as you want to make it, or really as affordable or less expensive if you want to go that route too.
You can get really expensive with it.
So if y'all are saying, like, if you want to stay at resorts every single night, it's going to be a little bit more.
You better have really
pricey.
Deep pockets because resorts add up quick.
Some of them,
sometimes you can catch them on sale,
you
and like
can get.
I will say, it's fun to go to those sometimes. I'm gonna hand it back over to Courtney. It said, you know, what's confusing about this is it says it wants to clips like 3 inches in, and they give you this little thing, which like here's pretty self-explanatory, 3 inches over. But then when you have this big curve, like, where do you start the 3? Do you start it here? Do you start it here? Do you start it once it's flat at the top?
Hopefully this is going to be the test one, and
The other ones will go a little faster.
Everything else is going to go in a lot faster.
We're just gonna go with that.
All right.
We're gonna go with that. And if we make a mistake, you guys saw it first.
And then y'all won't make it.
All right. Now, here goes nothing.
All right.
Oh, they're pretty flexible.
That's good.
I'll give them that.
I will say that makes it look like it's part of the truck.
And then it says you're supposed to like pull out on it and
Yeah.
like get the sticky to adhere to it. Okay, so the clips are there so that it kind of holds it in there,
Pushes
I guess.
it. I feel like this should go
Second time
a lot faster.
should be a little faster. Now that we've figured out all the kinks of the project. And look at there. And then that one went a lot faster. See, I did that one in like 30 seconds instead of 10 minutes.
Good deal.
And it says these are made in America too, so you're supporting an American company. We're doing all kind of American-made stuff here this year.
Yeah.
I like it. Support America. Okay, now to put the front ones on. I think kind of back to RV life and certain things that we thought it's going to be certain ways is having a home base. Right? When you first get started, it's probably not going to be your first thought. It wasn't our first thought. And for us in that point in time, it really wasn't much of an option because we sold our house and our cars and our stuff and everything, because financially it made more sense to do that at the time. But I would say there are times, especially during the winter season, and I'm sure Courtney's gonna hop in here.
Oh.
Does the front not have clips?
We've come to another speed bump.
This is a completely different process. No clips, and you gotta leave the window up for 48 hours after you're done. Which is interesting because there's no adhesive on it at all either.
So it just goes up in there.
That's weird. There's like this tape looking thing on the outside.
That looks like it's supposed to be there.
Maybe, but it doesn't say anything. It looks like crap. I wonder if it hides. I don't know. Maybe it hides down in the door.
Okay, let's do one. We can always pull it back out.
Well, let's go to your side of the truck. Let's leave like a 1.5 inch gap. It's probably close enough. Here, we'll fold this out of the way so y'all can see. And now this is saying to put that, I'm gonna like see that tape part.
That's gonna bother you?
It's gonna,
Oh, I bet it's there to protect your seal. It's exactly what it is. Otherwise it would rub it, honey. You gotta leave it.
I don't like that.
Well, it's gonna cut the seal.
I don't like that.
Guarantee you that's why that's there.
I guess it's far enough you don't see it. So this is saying you tuck it in like that.
Okay.
You tuck it in there, and then you come back to the front and you tuck it in.
Oh, so it just holds itself in there. It like binds itself in there.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you roll the window up?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, and then I think you leave it 48 hours, and I think the heat
Kind of molds it.
yeah.
They're definitely low profile, but it makes it look like part of the truck, I think.
I guess that's how it goes, y'all. I guess it just tucks in the seal, which that was unsatisfyingly easy. Maybe we'll get better aerodynamics, y'all.
Better fuel mileage, folks. Who would have thought?
Super slick.
There you go. It's a little different. Looks good.
All right.
Okay, here's your last one.
One more, and then this project box is done. You know, I put this project off for quite a while thinking there was clips on all these windows.
Like we could have done this months ago.
Easily. So let's put that in there, slide that in. And you come to this side, it says, you put that in. And then you come back down here and you tuck. I will say it feels like you're kind of gonna break it when you do it.
Now, is this the same WeatherTech company that makes the WeatherTech floor mats?
Same company that makes the WeatherTech floor mats. They make our old fender, our old mud flaps. Or actually, these are WeatherTech too.
Okay.
These front mud flaps are WeatherTech.
We're all WeatherTech'd out.
Well, I used to have the back WeatherTechs, but then, and they were great when my truck didn't have airbags. They didn't stick down enough. Once I put airbags on the truck, there was still a bunch of room for like rocks to fly and hit the fifth wheel. So then when we got this one and we're going to Alaska, I put these other mud skin flaps on there and took the WeatherTech ones off and gave them to Buddy. You can wipe them off.
Looks good. Roll up the back window and then we'll get the whole
effect.
The truck needs a washing.
Yeah, they don't look bad.
No, they look good. And it is interesting because when you do see them, I'm so used to seeing them like on the side of the truck.
Yeah.
So having them it's a different kind of, it's a different look, but I think they look
since
good.
we're standing here, let me show y'all this really quick. A couple of years ago, I was using some goof off to get off bug tar. And if you use that stuff on these plastic mirrors that have like a texture to it, and you rub too long, you will pull the texture away. There is no texture, it is smooth. And then I'm pretty sure when it was in the tire shop, they hit it on one of their red posts.
We're good to go on the
Now that
water heater too.
our water heater is done with its cleaning,
A little
still scared me,
Oh
Dak
gosh, you scared me.
Oh yeah, look at all that gunk in there. Look at it. You can like see it's like brown.
I'm getting.
It's not pink. The pellets are pink. That's like all the calcium buildup and stuff.
Should have been pink.
Ooh. Here.
What if you were to put that back in, close it up, turn the water on, and then pull it out again?
No, so what we do now is we put this in, we turn the inside water on, and then it has to run for like 8 gallons.
Okay.
It's got a sensor or
So
whatever.
it'll flush it through our lines.
Yeah, it'll flush it through, and it won't tell it it won't be done with cleaning until it's processed however much water it's supposed to process.
Okay, so kind of like a little smart water heater.
Yeah. All right.
Now what are you doing?
These lights. And these lights are another project that I've just been dragging on doing. I figured, why not jump into something else that I probably don't have time for today, but I'm gonna make time for it. And that's putting a light in. These lights originally are made to kind of like come out the back so like you can like drill a hole into something. But because I need the lights to come down from the bottom side, I don't want to pinch the lights, so I'm just using my little cutter there. I'm gonna cut a little notch out of this thing here so that these wires can sit outside the notch, and then I'll put them in wire loom.
But that is something to think about if you are thinking about RV life. Like if you are used to doing projects, home, I don't know, renovations, or just kind of tinkering around, which Hugh did, thinking about not having a garage or space to do that kind of thing, because I know that Hugh's kind of missed that a little bit and keeps himself busy with some projects around that we've got going on like this, like today.
I used to always be in the shop. Every night I was out there doing stuff, and you know, it's different being out here.
For him, it comes from a young age. If you were to ask his mother, he has been tinkering for quite some time and taking things apart.
Tinkering, taking things
and putting them back together. So
but now I know how to actually fix things. Back then, I just knew how to take things apart. Screw came out, never went back in.
Yeah.
Now it's a little different. I can pretty much fix anything, which is nice. I'm glad, I'm thankful for it. But I miss having like my little space.
Yep.
I miss having my shop. I miss having my own lawn, being able to do those kinds of things. And I don't think I think I miss it more so like during the winter when we're just like going to the same campgrounds over and over and over during what they call the Florida Shuffle. That gets old. Like the first year, maybe 2 year, the first year you're like, okay, this is new. The second year you're like, okay, we know what to expect. But by the third year of doing it, and we just went through our 4th winter of doing it, it gets kind of old. It gets kind of boring going to the same places, doing the same things. And it would be nice to just have our own space, like our own property again, so that during the winter, we can go and hang out and do those things, and then take our spring and summer trips, or spring, summer, fall trips, whatever. Still take trips, but have a home base. I think that's, I think that's our next goal to work towards, is a home base again. I see some people, they just up and quit getting off the road. They don't like it anymore. I wouldn't say that we don't like it.
No,
I enjoy it.
And I don't think that we'll ever stop traveling, because prior to doing this full time, we never traveled. We never had an RV. We never. Hugh tried to get me going to some tent camping stuff, and
now you know what I would like to do one day.
That ain't my style.
I would really love to build one of those big overlander, like European style rigs that you can like travel the world in and just ship it to different countries.
Oh, man.
I want to do that one day. Get me one of the big, and I might even would buy one that someone's already dumped a ton of money into and taken the depreciation hit on it. But I would like to get a big, huge overlander and do like some global overlanding. I think that would be really fun. I've always wanted to kind of do something like that. For us, life is actually cheaper on the road than it was in a house, to be honest with you.
That
if anything, of our previous life, before life on the road, I miss my neighbors the most, because of all the places I think I've ever lived in my life, different houses, different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
that neighborhood was full of so many genuine people.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 people. Like the whole neighborhood too. It wasn't just the next door.
So like I
neighbor.
do miss that. We try to keep in contact with them. If anything
So
on social media.
If you're watching Old Neighbors, hey. One thing that is actually more expensive for us is actually our insurance on our truck. That went up a good bit because we're domiciling out of Florida.
Yeah, Georgia insurance was a lot cheaper.
The other thing for us is all of our stuff is paid for. That was a must. We definitely didn't want to get into this lifestyle and not know really all of the ins and outs of it and have huge balloon, I guess, payments. Is that what you would call them? Balloon payments? Payments above our heads?
Just have a bunch of debt over our heads while we're trying to navigate a new lifestyle. We started with savings,
Right.
and the sale of our house. We paid for our trailer and our truck, and we paid everything off when we sold our house. And I think that was just really important for us, that the minimal amount of bills we could have a month was the absolute most important. I'm able to fix my stuff. I'm able to save money in certain ways that some people may not be able to.
Right. I think you have to look at your lifestyle, what works for you, what can work for you if you want to do this lifestyle, and go from there. Because in my opinion, that's probably one of the most asked questions that we get is how much does it cost? And our cost is gonna be different than some other people's, you know? Anywho, so that is our side and a little bit of our before RV life story. Maybe another video we'll get into our whole how we met. Where did we go? What did we do?
Yeah, is that something that y'all want to see? Do y'all want to know the story of how we ended up on the road to begin with? Because I promise you, it was not this long planned
Kind of quick.
year, multi-year, we're gonna plan to get on the road at some certain day. But it does have a multi-year backstory, so that's kind of interesting. I'll put it this way, 5 years ago, I guess 5 years ago, a year before we got on the road, I would have never expected that we would be on the road traveling right now.
We said it would be a year and a half, 2 years max, and now here we are going on year 4.
Once you get it started, it's not as bad. And sometimes they do.
I don't think that
Yeah, it's right there.
okay. I don't think I've ever seen such a thing. Very interesting.
I don't know how much I need to loom up. I've been left. I have been left. She hightailed it, and now she is talking to my mother on the phone. So I'm hoping that when I mount this light, like I did on the other side, somewhere around here in the middle, that I'll be able to turn it on and at least get some more ambient light over here if we need it. Would just make packing up in the dark easier than one of us sitting over here with a phone and a light. And I just want a light, and I got the light now, so I'm gonna put the light in. We're gonna put this light in, and it's gonna do good. It's gonna have a purpose. Whether I use it all the time, that's another story, but it will be there when I need it. Now the install was going pretty easy, but it didn't take long before things went wrong. I screwed up. I dropped my drill, and I punctured our hose. A brand new hose is now a sprinkler. Well, it's a good thing that I carry an extra 150 feet of hose, I guess, because now this one's going in the trash. After my hose mishap there, got a new hose hooked up, I went ahead and finished wiring this thing up. I ran it all in wire loom. That way it would just blend with all the factory wiring and just look clean. I wired it into the factory pass-through light wiring because the hookup was already there and it made wiring it in so much faster. Just like that, we got a light right here. Awesome. I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know in the comments if you would have done it differently and how that would look. It's really dark. I don't expect y'all to see this too well until, boom. See, now I've got so much light out here now. If I need to get into my tray on this side at night, I can easily see anything that's on it. Super helpful, which will be great for hooking things like our water filter up there and stuff at night. We need to. Super pleased with how that has turned out.
Well, we didn't get to washing the RV yesterday. It's a new day today, by the way. So we're gonna do that now.
The sun didn't cooperate. Well, I didn't cooperate with the sun. You see, it starts on that side, then comes to this side, and washing it in the sun doesn't ever work. Everything just,
it's just so rushed.
it just dries up and gets funky on it. So right now we still have a little bit of shade on this side. So I think we're gonna start with this side. I don't care for washing the RV. It's a lot of real estate to wash. It's definitely not.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Not the easiest thing.
We get it done.
It's, you know.
Here's the thing, we're just not very motivated today.
I highly recommend.
That's the truth.
I highly recommend when you have to wash your RV, suck it up and do it like we do, or just pay somebody. But you know,
it's really expensive
it's
to pay
really
somebody
expensive
to do it.
to have an RV washed. Like,
it's easier to do it yourself.
I don't even know if there's anybody up in this area that washes RVs. I imagine there might be, but I know like down in Florida, they charge by the foot, and it's like $10 to $12 a foot or something.
Depending on what you want.
Something like that. It costs us like $300 to $500 to wash this RV, which I think is. I think it's a little. I think it's that's beyond the point where I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it myself.
Now, as much as I don't like washing the RV, there is something satisfying about scrubbing down the RV and making it shine again yourself. However, I am curious, those of you that have watched to the end, if you live in an RV full time, let me know your thoughts on the video. Like, what are some things that maybe you thought RV life would be like, and then when you got into it, it was completely different? You know, whether that's good things or bad things. Maybe you thought things were going to be worse than what they really are, or maybe you thought things would be completely better and they were worse than what you expected. Let us know those things down in the comments below. Maybe some things that you've come across that you just totally were blindsided by and you want to share your experience below. I encourage you to do that in the comments so that when people watch this video, maybe they can use your comments to help guide them too into this lifestyle. And with all of that being said, we appreciate your support. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you guys on the next one.
You guys, there's something about a lady and her hair. She just wants it to be perfect all the time. You just
like
got
a mind of its own lately. I don't know. We've been in really hard.
You got some gray up there.
Yeah, I do.
You got a
Anyway,
bunch. My goodness, you had like one. You got a bunch up there. 1, 2. Man, you got a solid 15 or 20 up there.
means I'm wise.
She gonna turn into a silver fox.
Stop.